Students, here I am your teacher, geography teacher, Miss Sultana Begum. So today I'm going to explain you the geography chapter 1, that is representation of geographical features. What is a topographical map? Topographical map, they are large scale maps which are multi-purpose, representing information regarding physical and cultural features. What are they? Tropical tropical maps are large scale maps which are also multi-purpose maps that large scale maps which represent information regarding physical and cultural features. It also shows the elevation, relief, drainage and vegetation, and together with this they also show the man-made features such as roads, railways, settlements, etc. So you got the point. Topographical maps are the large scale map. First of all, they are large scale maps, they are multi-purpose and they represent information regarding physical and cultural feature, and it is also showing elevation, relief, drainage and vegetation, and it is also man-made features, and it also shows man-made features which are like roads, railways, settlements, etc. So what is the important element of a topo sheet? What are most important elements of the topo sheet? The important elements which are, they are colors, scale, conventional signs and etc. So we are going to study about all these important elements of a topo sheet, which are color, scale, conventional signs and etc. Okay, so we'll start with colors. First of all, what are colors? Colors, they are used to show various features, and each color on map has got a significance. So we have important elements of topo sheet, that is colors, scales, conventional signs, etc. And then we'll start first with colors. Colors, they are used to show various features, and each color on the map has got a significance. All the colors, they have got a importance of their own, and each color they show something. Okay, all of the colors, they are going to show different things. The most important colors which are shown, they are the colors which are used on a topo sheet map. They are blue, red, yellow, brown and green. The colors which we are using on a topo sheet, that is blue, red, yellow, brown and green. So we are going to start with the first color, that is blue. Blue, as you have already seen in the maps, every time when you buy a map, when we were doing a map in class 6 also, then also I told you that the blue colors, whatever is representing on your world map or Asia map, whatever map you are taking, whatever color, whatever part is shown in blue color, that is the water bodies. And water bodies, they can be any kind of water body: lakes, ponds, rivers, oceans, seas, anything. And in this blue color we have two different shades, light blue and dark blue. Light blue, it shows the lesser depth, and dark blue, they show the deeper one. And it also shows the means of irrigation such as wells, tanks, etc. Okay, so now next color is red. Red is showing all types of settlements including roads, huts, temples, etc. Red color is showing what? All type of settlements which are including roads, huts and temples. And do you remember in class 6 also I told you roughly that we have three types of settlement, and those three type of settlement are nucleated settlement, dispersed settlement and the linear settlement, and we are going to study about this later. Okay, so we'll continue with the next color, that is yellow. Yellow, it does not give any direct information of occupation of any of the people, but when we show a large area which is covered with yellow wash on a topo sheet, that it indicates cultivable land. What does it indicate? It indicates a cultivable land, though although they don't give any information of the occupation of people, but then also we assume Sometimes, like example, when a large area is covered with a yellow wash indicates the cultivable land. And various symbols have been internationally accepted to represent palms, grass, bamboos, coniferous and deciduous trees. When we have to show all these things internationally, it has been accepted that they are going to be shown through various symbols. We are going to talk about the symbols later, signs and symbols later. Next color is brown. Brown, it represents contour line. What does it represent? Brown color represents contour lines. Contour lines are what? Contour lines which are imaginary lines which join places of the same height. Contour lines, what are they? First of all, brown color is showing them, it's representing the contour lines. And what are the contour lines? Contour lines are very important on a topo sheet. These are contour lines are imaginary lines which are joining places which are having the same height. Then color, the color green comes. Green shows us vegetation, forest area, orchards, trees, curbs, heights of curbs. And it also shows on a topo sheet, if an area is covered, large part of the area is covered in green, that means that area is showing as lumbering or animal rearing. You have already studied about lumbering in class 6 and also animal rearing. You have studied already, okay. And same way they are also showing the height of mountains and steepness of slopes in the contour map. When we want to see the steepness of the slopes, then we can see the green color, it also shows that, okay. So here in yellow color, if a large area on a topo sheet is shown in a yellow wash, that it indicates a cultivable land, and if it is shown covered with green color, then that is showing the lumbering or the animal rearing, okay. So these are the colors. First of all, topographical maps. They are the large scale maps that is representing information regarding physical and cultural features. They also show elevations, relief, drainage and vegetation. And they also show man-made features that are roads, railways, settlements, etc. And important elements of the topo sheet, they are colors, scale, conventional signs, etc. And what are colors? We will start with colors. Colors, they are used to show various features, and each color on a map has got a significance. And the colors which we are using are blue, red, yellow, brown and green. We will start with first one, that is blue. It is most of all the water bodies are shown in blue color. Light blue, lesser depth, dark blue, deeper. And all the means of irrigation also, like well tanks, they are also shown in blue. Then comes red, all types of settlements, that is including roads, huts, temples, etc. They all come into the red color. And settlements, we have three types of settlement, that is nucleated, dispersed and linear. Then we have yellow color, that does not give any direct information of occupation of people, but when a large area is covered with yellow wash on a topo map, that indicates a cultivable land. And various symbols have been accepted internationally to represent palms, grass, bamboos, coniferous and deciduous trees. We have different symbols for that. We will study it later. And brown color, it represents the contour line, which are imaginary lines which are joining places of the same height. Then comes green color, vegetation. It shows vegetation, forest area, orchards, trees and shrubs, heights of mountains and steepness of slopes also in contour map. And also in a topo sheet, if the area is covered with green, a large part of the area is covered in green, that means that is lumbering or animal rearing. That area has been taken by them. Next is the scale, the ratio between, what is a scale? Scale, it is a ratio between a distance measured on map. I repeat, ratio between a distance which is measured on a map and corresponding distance on the earth. Okay, ratio between the distance measured on the map to the corresponding distance on the earth. So representation of map scales, we have two ways. First of all, linear scale, and the second one is representation representative fraction. First one is linear scale. This is the easiest method of describing a map scale. Linear scale, it is the easiest one, and usually it is written on maps as 1 centimeter to 10 kilometers or 1 inch to 50 miles. It can be shown like this. You can see here example 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can see here the distance from 0 to 1 is 250. We are assuming it as 1 centimeter is equal to 250 kilometers. So when a value, whatever value on the left hand side of the statement always indicates the map distance. Whatever you see on the left hand side of the statement, that always shows the map distance. What is it? Map distance. Okay. And second method of the representation of map scale is this. Map scale is expressed as a numeric ratio in numerator and denominator. Numerator, it has got map distance that expressed as a unity, and the denominator, it is corresponding ground distance, and it also 1 unit on the map is equivalent to the number of units on the ground. And numerator and denominator both are expressed in the same unit. You have to always remember the formula. RF is equal to distance on map upon distance on the ground. Numerator, denominator. Okay. Then we have distance measurement. Distance between two places on a map. Distance, see this, focus on this. Distance between two places on a map is related with distance between same places on the ground. We have two things here: distance between two places on map and distance between the same places on the ground. Two places on the map, that means map distance, and here same places on the ground, that is ground distance. Okay. So we have two methods to measure distance. First one is measurement of direct or straight distance. Like when you have to measure like roads, railways, lines, etc., then we use this method. When you have to use this method, first of all you have to mark 2 points on the map between which the distance is to be measured. We have to mark 2 points on the map between which the distance is to be measured. And second, we have to mark here 2 points on the map which is between the distance to be measured, and then measure the distance with the help of a divider or a piece of a paper. If you don't have a divider, you can use a piece of a paper between the given points on the map. Suppose this is point A and this is point B. You have to measure it this way, this here, and now place the divider or strip of paper on the linear scale drawn on the map, wherever you have drawn the linear scale of the map, and then you measure it. That will give you directly the distance on the ground between the 2 points. And the second method, which is for the curved line, measurement of indirect curved distance, that is erratic path, that is coastlines, rivers, streams, when you have to measure those. So first of all, what you have to do, take a piece of thread, we have to use it, thread, and mark the point with a pen which shows the starting point. At the starting point you have to mark it with a pen, and then you have to spread the thread along the line following. Suppose this is the line going on, you have to start your thread like this also. You have to start measuring like this, and each curve till the last point, from the starting point to the last point. And when you finish that, now stretch the thread along the scale to find the length. Now again, whatever length you have got, you have to keep it on the scale and measure it, and you will get the results.